Hello everyone and welcome to episode 165 of Report This Post, the podcast about bad posts and bad people. My name is Geiger and that is Christian.
Hey, listen, you smell something?
And we are your hosts with the posts. Every week, Christian, myself, or a listener select a different topic and then find horrible posts for your listening pleasure. This week's topic, as chosen by a listener named Adam for someone named Kelly, is ghosts.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's right. Ghosts, the things that are hanging out in your room watching you beat off. I don't know why they're doing it. Don't know.
Why would anybody do it? Yeah.
Yeah. Before we get to the episode, speaking of ghosts, this is a big week for the internet. we lost a titan of the industry. Low Tax, Richard Kayanka, the founder of somethingawful.com, blew his goddamn brains out. Not precisely sure why. It seems like because he didn't want to pay child support or whatever.
Yeah, there's some stuff floating around about that. Yep.
Just like ghosts do. They love to float around, as Low Tax is doing right now, undoubtedly.
Probably in hell, I would say.
Yeah, well, he had a rough couple of years that may have launched him towards that trajectory.
Hey, he did sell the website for $400,000, the forums.
Hey, not bad. And that was like a year ago.
And that 9 months ago, and as of up to 2 months back prior, he was doing live streams, eating cured meats for donations. So if that gives you any idea of how this guy was with money, that's, boy, that's rough.
Yeah, I mean, it must have been weird for let's say 15 to 18 years to have a steady stream of money that's just coming in off of your website.
Mm-hmm.
And this was well before Patreon or anything like that. So he was one of the few people in the world that was making money off of being on the internet for a very long time.
True.
That was before that was a thing. And that just sort of fed into him not being able to live a normal life outside of that.
Yeah, I mean, also from some of the stuff I read, he had his parents are very well off and more than likely probably paid for a lot of the website stuff and the forum stuff over the years because the one-time fee of $10 for the users probably really didn't carry all that much through. And then especially in the last decade or so, I'd say the advertising on there took a real dip when most people...
at one point they were averaging hundreds of new users a day.
Sure.
So it adds up that's a lot of money. I think more the thing was just that his entire identity was this website. Yep. And then he could no longer have it because he got a little hair up his ass to beat the hell out of his old lady. And then that old
both
lady...
of them.
Sure. And one of them really went out of their way to say, hey, my boyfriend loves smacking me around a little bit. And I think everyone should know that. And so he was forced to sell the website after that. And a couple months later, he shotgun right in the mouth. Splattered his brains everywhere.
Pretty good. But gotta say, hey, Rich, thanks to you. Without you, we probably would have never done this podcast. So
without you, we wouldn't have had 4chan or Donald Trump or all the great things America's known for today. So, Mr. Kayanka, we salute you in heaven, looking down, having a great laugh.
Yeah. So in remembrance of Rich, what we're going to do here is we're going to do a moment of silence for the next hour and 35 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So just stay tuned, folks. And thanks for tuning in.
In the meantime, head over to reportthispost.com if you would like to purchase a topic, as I believe Adam did, for
Correct.
Kelly.
For her birthday.
Yeah, which was 7 years ago. Who knows?
Actually, I think this one actually lined up. I think
Really?
Adam was pretty on the ball for this one.
Good for him.
And got in there under the backlog of all the shit we have lined up for this show. So good on you, Adam. I hope you guys are still together at this point.
Perfect timing. The episode itself is not, because it's 2 weeks after Halloween. Would have been the best possible timing for the episode. But hey, what are you going to do? We're going to talk about ghosts. Christian, do you believe in ghosts?
I believe that there are... God damn it. I believe that there's parts of people that get left behind that we create echoes that could be perceived as ghosts. I don't know if I believe in self-sustaining entities of sorts, but and yourself?
No, that sounds pretty gay.
Yeah.
Why don't we just go ahead and read some posts? Let's get started there.
Yeah, that's fine. This first one comes from our data sets, which is where nerds hang out to discuss whatever spreadsheets they're working on. User Single Origin posted, "Are ghosts racist? I have a hypothesis that the ghosts that appear in American paranormal horror movies are racist. It seems to me that in the majority of the movies, the ghosts, spirits, or demons only haunt, possess, or spook Caucasians. I haven't really seen many people of color being traumatized by garden variety poltergeists. I've thought about this for years, so much so that I want to look at every paranormal horror movie released over the last 10 to 25 years and see how many of the main characters are Caucasian. My questions are follow. How do I go about collecting this information? Is there a specific program that I can use to scrape this nuanced data? Even if I get the data about the paranormal horror movies made over the past 25 years, how do I go about identifying the race of the main characters? I'm sure it's obvious, given my elementary questions, that I'm a novice when it comes to gathering data, but I'm here to learn." And so the top comment over on our data sets from user New Folgers didn't actually have anything to do with data. That would explain the white sheets.
I feel like my hypothesis would be the exact opposite. The ghosts are not racist because they're only haunting white people.
The ghosts are doing
It's
white
justice.
on white crime.
No, it's classic social justice that the ghosts are doing.
The white man is coming back for them. Yeah, that's right. I guess it would be more if like the entire Scooby-Doo cast were black, and every week they're being chased around by some guy in a white sheet. Then it would be probably considered racist.
Like, and you would think like Scooby-Doo, that's like just a classic black guy name, so you would just assume the cast. Shaggy, come on.
My uncle Scooby-Doo. Yeah, yeah, that's right.
Velma, underrated black woman name, but it clearly is. People don't really talk about it. Like, I can hear the nails clicking on the keyboard when I hear Velma. And yet we associate it nowadays with a very, nerdy white woman name, but It's really not. Yeah.
No, that's right.
Daphne, that's a white name. Fred, come on, forget about it. Fred Sanford, though. So, something to think about.
Fred Sanford joining the Mystery
Scrappy
Inc.
Doo? Are you kidding me? Scrappy Doo is a 5'4" black guy.
He's always getting into trouble. He's always in fights.
He just can't help it. He's 22 years old. He's almost bald, naturally, and he just like he'll throw hands whenever he needs to.
All right, so the revival of Scooby-Doo coming out on Cartoon Network. Keep an eye out for a diverse cast. We're going to be showrunners on it. Just you wait.
If it hasn't happened already, I'm surprised. Every single thing property has been Breedcast with our good friends in the African American community.
Our good friends. Yeah. Good friends. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
They're so good. They're such good friends. We call them the help because they're such helps to us.
That's right. They help us. They help guide us through our lives over on the Carcoon Network. Now, user R Syrup Derp posted this over on R Paranormal. So I don't know how to prove this, but I figured it'd be fun to share. May 26, 2009, I experienced 3 deaths. 2 dogs and a girl. That day has been hell ever since. Well, this year I was dreading the day the whole time. I recall waking up around 10 a.m. and having sex that morning. Around that time, this past 26th of May, I was praying, saying kind words, looking at pictures, and remembering what the good life was like. Moments later, I felt this force I only felt with this girl before. Long story short, my dick felt like this ghost was giving me good old blowjobs that I miss. User GimmeDat said, I'm a little confused. To which the OP said, yeah, useless post. Let's just get it buried.
Just posting some sort of inane drivel and then being like, yeah.
You know what?
Sorry, guys. I fucked up.
I'm really sorry.
Can it. Scrap it.
Scrappy do it.
2 dogs and a girl, but just kind of just glancing over. I experienced 3 deaths, 2 dogs and a girl. Anyways, I was getting a blowy. Like, okay, whoa. Outside of the insane context that this thing is written in, that just makes no sense. You seem to be jumping over some pretty major plot points here.
Sure, yeah. Yeah. I just big fan of the. Yeah, you got me. Whatever. Just forget it. Who gives? Whatever. Like, not even just going to bother deleting it. It's like, let's just let it die.
You can delete the post. You can remove it yourself. Yeah, but instead, just like...
It'll just go away. Just let it die like a ghost.
Oh, well, thankfully you didn't delete it so that you could find it. Mm-hmm. What a good sport. I want a true gentleman of online over there on Reddit rather than deleting something that gets absolutely massacred by somebody's comment. Just going ahead and let it ride. So good on them.
Completely.
Great. Well, from another website, an anonymous user asked this over on Tumblr. Do you headcanon Beetlejuice as autistic/ADHD? If so, would you share some headcanons? And Delia Dietz Stan, who is the owner of the blog, replied, to answer your first question, yes, and yes. To answer your second question, hells yes. Here are some headcanons. Beetlejuice has autism and ADHD, which is why he gets written off as being sloppy, lazy, weird, etc. A lot of his stims, especially the ones he does when stressed, are blatantly obvious. Things like vocal stims, humming, repetition, and physical ones, rocking, tapping his hands, biting and chewing things, so they weren't really possible to hide. The Dietzes were the first to notice, since Lydia does some of the same things, but at first they wrote it off as, hey, maybe it's just a demon thing. Then, during a family movie night, when everyone was yelling at the cheesy horror movie on TV, knocking stuff over, the volume was too loud, and it sent Beetlejuice into a textbook sensory overload meltdown. It didn't take long after that for them to deduce that he had autism, and they do their best to make him feel safe and comfortable. And for the Maitlands, Barbara puts on Disney movies and runs her fingers through his hair while they watch. Sometimes Beetlejuice will curl up on the couch, his head on her lap, and fall asleep. She doesn't mind. She knows he gets nightmares, wakes up screaming some nights, or sobs into his pillow when he thinks that nobody else is awake to hear it. Adam sits on the couch, Beetlejuice's head on his shoulder, and reads aloud to him. He follows the words with his finger as a quiet way of helping keep Beetlejuice learn the words. Yes, Beetlejuice is illiterate. Even though it's an awkward angle, he wraps one arm around Beetlejuice, holding him tightly.
What?
Anyways, Beetlejuice has a family who loves and supports him, and autistic ADHD Beetlejuice holds a special place in my heart.
What in the fuck? What? It seems like there's a whole lot of extra story I don't remember from the Beetlejuice movie.
That's right. After the whole wedding scene and banishing Beetlejuice back to the afterlife, the Dietzes decided to bring him back and use their house as a halfway house for this autistic ghost, I believe. Really weird.
So, yeah, they really went well. This is someone who's been like obsessed with Beetlejuice for like 28 years.
For a long time.
And they've just
for sure
built this entire world completely on their own. It's what they live every day.
That's what they call it. A headcanon, I guess. Yeah, they're putting on their black and white striped every piece of clothing they have. Looks like a monochrome circus tent. They're just going about their life, telling anybody within earshot about Beetlejuice having autism and ADHD.
That was a movie that was in the rotation as a kid.
Oh, for sure. Probably shouldn't have been, but was definitely in the VHS player quite a bit when I was a kid, for sure.
Yeah, and it's a good yearly revisit. It's a good movie.
It's a fun. It's one of Tim Burton's
like
best.
Second movies, I think.
After Pee-wee, I think. I think you might be right.
Yeah. And that one, that Pee-wee, my goodness, also in the rotation. A lot of Tim Burton back in the day.
Back when he was good. Back when he did good movies.
What's he doing nowadays?
The last thing he did, I think, was some sort of adaptation of a children's book, but he's big into that digital, everything being digital.
It's hard to be a good director for like 40 years.
Yeah.
It's really hard to do that.
Especially when you're just like churning them out year after year after year. He's not a Scorsese. He's not taking 10 years off between movies. You know what I mean? He's just banging them out. So
he's almost as good as Scorsese, but not quite there.
No, he's
just shy of Scorsese. Tim Burton, yeah. Anyway,
he might have another one in him. Who knows?
Hey, speaking of those sort of movies from our youth, Dr. Janos Poha was the weird foreign guy at the museum in the movie Ghostbusters 2.
Sure.
And someone over on our Ghostbusters is excited about him in this new sequel that's coming out, next year?
I believe so.
This gentleman asked, who else is looking forward to the reveal that Ray and Janos made it work 35 years later? Ray, of course, being, I believe, Dan Aykroyd's character.
That is correct, yep.
From the first two movies, so these two are hooking up, apparently. A user responded, that wouldn't work since Ray isn't gay. They established that in the first Ghostbusters when he's in bed and dreams of the female ghost taking his pants off.
That's right.
And the OP responded, I mean, bi people exists. Ray does actually give me pansexual vibes, to be honest. To which another user responded, "Da fuck."
Yeah. Yep, I agree.
Just a normal person that's just on this subreddit, and they're like, why the
what?
What are you talking about? Like, I love the idea of that. Someone who's like not into the internet at all, and someone's like, yeah, this character from a movie from 600 years ago, they give me real pansexual vibes. Like,
what?
What in the world? I thought we were just talking about Slimer and shit here. What are you talking about? Like, as a kid, it was like Slimer was the Urkel of Ghostbusters, you know?
Yeah,
that's what stole the show. You're like, oh yeah, that's that Slimer movie. What was it called? Oh, Ghostbusters. That's right.
Yeah, you weren't considering the sexuality. I mean, honestly, outside of Sigourney Weaver, the cast of the Ghostbusters films exude negative sexual energy.
Yeah, even like Bill Murray, who's like technically charming. There's nothing sexual about it. You're like, he's like a cool guy.
There's nobody in those films where you're like, again, outside of Sigourney Weaver, especially in the first one when she's possessed and she's got the big hair and everything. which was like a real sexual awakening for me as a child.
Yeah.
But
oh yeah,
you're not looking at yeah, you're not looking at Rick Moranis and being like, I wonder if he's Ace Arrow or if he would mind if I sucked him off. No. And Dan Aykroyd.
he's literally autistic, Dan Aykroyd, and his character is very on the spectrum.
Pairing up Peter McNichol's weird European character with like the
what the hell was that?
Flumpy.
That was back when you could do that. When you could take a guy from Cincinnati and turn him into from some foreign country that doesn't exist anymore.
Some sort of Transylvanian accent take off.
But why are you
good.
Cam? That's what I remember him asking. I was like, oh, he's like dumb because he's foreign. Okay, I got you.
Yeah. Well, and you know what? That's a good basis for the rest of your life is that foreign people are very stupid.
Vigo.
Oh,
Vigo
great.
was almost hot.
Okay. What do you say?
I'm not saying anything objectively. I'm just offering
constructive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Gozer was hot. Gozer was the bad guy in the first one.
That's right. Gozer was pretty fucking good.
Yeah. So, I guess start keeping a list of movies. Can you or can you not jack off to this film? And Ghostbusters, I think, is a question mark. So now Ghostbusters 2, you got the slime. That's very sexy. So
that's true. The slime was hot.
Love the inside of the Statue of Liberty just sopping wet with slime.
I would say the Statue of Liberty was the sexiest character in the first two Ghostbusters. And in the third Ghostbusters movie, no one's sexy because it was just a bunch of fat pigs that were playing all the Ghostbusters.
That's right. Women should not be on the screen. Hey, speaking of Ghostbusters, and particularly that scene that you mentioned in your last post, user Combine went to our movies to ask, what are your theories on why a ghost sucked Dan Aykroyd's dick in Ghostbusters? My only explanation is this. At that point in the film, Spangler, Venkman, and Stantz have garnered nationwide, perhaps worldwide fame for, well, busting ghosts. My theory is that, in the dick-sucking scene, the woman ghost, the ghost who sucks Stantz's dick, really does not want to be busted. So she offers Stantz a little something to, in return, keep being a ghost and not be confined in a ghost trap. There's no real follow-up to that segment of the movie, so there's no way of telling if Stantz busted the ghost or not, but I can guess that he definitely busted inside of its mouth. And user Slingu replied, I once had no sleep after a party and had sleep deprivation hallucinations and hallucinated I was getting a blowjob from someone floating over my bed. I wonder if someone else had a similar experience and thought it was a ghost, and that's where this comes from.
No, I think the writers just thought it was funny. They thought it would be funny if a ghost blew
really
a guy.
Funny if a ghost. Yeah, let's throw a blowjob scene in here that gets turned into a dream sequence and just showed Dan Aykroyd getting sloppy toppy from some sort of spirit.
Yeah, so like Ghostbusters was pretty revolutionary in that it was like definitely just a comedy, but it also like had these like real interesting sci-fi fantasy moments to it. And because it wasn't strictly a comedy, there are people out there who take it very seriously.
Try to read. Well, yeah, there's a weird. So, like anything else that was pop culture, that was basically kind of a throwaway thing. Back before everything had to be Marvel Universe style. There is now like this whole mythos behind all these movies, and each character has a backstory and blah 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 blah. So there are people out there that I'm sure probably on the R Ghostbusters Reddit especially would have like the actual reason why Ray was getting because he could sense us whatever.
Sure, yeah,
right. Instead of it just like you're saying, just being like, that would be funny. We should just film that.
And it was like during like a montage, right?
Yeah, right.
So it's like when you're putting a montage together for a comedy movie, it's like let's come up with like 6 different funny ideas for the montage. And
Which I also think included
yeah.
Slimer busting out of a hot dog cart with his mouth full of hot dogs.
So, yeah, are you going to go in depth on Slimer in a hot dog cart? It's the same thing. It's like, wouldn't it be funny if? Now, I think they should have combined him and have Dan Aykroyd looking up and see Slimer gobbling his dick. Just that big mouth. Instead of hot dogs. Just rah, 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 rah.
Yeah, just lowering that fat little ass onto his prick.
Two of my favorite
probably exists out there.
Two of my favorite tweets ever, especially back when I first got on Twitter. The first one was it was something like, "What the hell was Slimer in real life?" Which is a great question. And the second was, I don't remember who did it. It was one of these weird Twitter guys. It was like, imagine if the Ghostbusters song came out, but there was no movie.
Yeah, that is a good point.
Just like, who are you gonna call? Ghostbusters? And people listening to the radio was like, what the fuck is going on right now?
Like trying to build a story, like trying to do like Kenny Rogers the Gambler, but with the Ghostbusters song.
Who are you gonna call? What are you talking about? Yeah, that was back in the 80s when like movies just had theme songs that just gave you the plot in the song. Wasn't a lot of poetry to it.
2.5 minutes, you get the whole gist. Beautiful thing, yeah. Oh man,
I found this fun article over on people.com. A 30-year-old woman from England isn't worried about being ghosted by men in real life. Why? Because the woman claims to have fallen in love with a specter she met while sky high. Okay. Amethyst Realm said that she has had 20 paranormal lovers throughout her life, but it wasn't until she flew to Australia on a business trip earlier this year that she came across an unbelievable surprise. I'd not had a phantom fling for a while, and as I was away on business, starting a new relationship was the last thing on my mind. Realm, a spiritual counselor, told The Sun. Then one day, while I was walking through the bush, enjoying nature, I suddenly felt this incredible energy. A new lover had arrived. When it came time to fly back to England, Realm was worried she would have to leave her new lover behind since ghosts tend to stick to one place, she explained. Yet, once she boarded the plane, Realm said she felt the spirit's presence and realized he was coming along for the ride. I was happy and excited. So excited that we had to do something about it, she claimed. So we headed to the plane loo and, well, I am now a member of the Mile High Club. While Realm claimed to have had sex with the spirit, she didn't hear his voice until they were on a recent trip to England's Wookiee Hole Caves, where she said he asked her to marry him. There was no going down on one knee because he doesn't have knees. But for the first time, I heard him speak, she said. I could actually hear his voice, and it was beautiful. Deep, sexy, and real. Well, about 2 years after this article was published, we have an update. Amethyst Realm said that she called things off with her ghost lover, Ray, and she used sage to keep him at bay. We've called the wedding off, Amethyst said. It was going really well until we met on holiday, and that was about last May, and then he completely changed. I think maybe he fell in with a bad crowd when we were on holiday. He just started becoming really inconsiderate. He'd disappear for long periods of time, and then when he came back, he'd bring other spirits to the house, and they would just stay around for days.
Just your ghost boyfriend kicking open the door and a bunch of other guys piling in.
Yeah.
Hey, honey, we got any beer in the fridge?
Mm-hmm.
That's tough.
Yeah,
20 ghost lovers, though.
Yeah, like 100 years ago, this gal would have been like heaved off a cliff.
Oh, for sure.
When she was like 12.
Yeah. 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 And instead now, if you Google her name, the first thing that comes up is a song, Amethyst Realm, written and performed by Sean Lennon and Les Claypool.
Okay.
The Claypool-Lennon Delirium is their duo's name. So I'm not entirely sure what's worse for this lady, being known as the crazy bitch who fucked 20 ghosts, or having a song written about her by two lunatics. So I'm not entirely sure. Really weird.
Amethyst Realm is a little on the nose as far as a spiritual gal.
Yeah, my name is Sage Crystal, and I'm a witch. I'm a Wiccan. I currently have 8 ghosts living in my pussy. I rented out like a boarding house.
That's my name.
Oh, yeah. You follow that chick on Twitter too, do you? Yeah.
Twitter.com/astrologybitch. Do we have something? We do. Yep.
Of course
she has not tweeted since 2015, but at astrologybitch is taken, I'm afraid.
Sorry, folks. Hey, send a DM. Maybe if she's just squatting on it, maybe she'll turn it over for a couple $100.
Her last tweet, I follow back most of the time, so you can DM me requests and stuff if you want to.
Hey, there you go.
Nothing since then.
Ghost got her. She was pulled into the closet like Carol Ann in Poltergeist and never heard from again.
And we miss her.
R.I.P. to Astrology Bitch. Hey, here's another great news item. This one comes from the New York Post. Kathleen Roberts, a woman who claims she's Marilyn Monroe reincarnate, believes she's married to the King of Pop's ghost. Roberts alleges that Michael Jackson's ghostly presence doesn't have sex with her. However, he likes to use her earthly body to dance, sing, and eat. She revealed that the Billie Jean singer proposed to her clairvoyantly with a pink engagement ring. She also claims that they had the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. officiate their nuptials when she was getting out of the bathtub. Michael stays in me all the time, so he comes to the restroom with me and calls these special bonding moments toiletries, Roberts wrote of Jackson. He stays possessed in me, relaxed, not channeling, and just enjoying living through me and communicating with me as a husband. He also likes to eat in me. He loves cookies. He cusses a lot more than I expect him to as a former fan. Robert also admits her supernatural senses have previously been mistaken as schizophrenia.
Oh. They've been mistaken as that. Okay. So, old Cat Roberts. Very different name than Amethyst Realm.
Yeah, no.
Same exact thing.
Different title, same story. That's right. Yeah.
So she got out of the bathtub, and that's when MLK stepped in to
officiate their nuptials. That's right.
Okay.
That was like lightning struck as she was getting out of the tub, and that was the time when old MJ decided to not only just pop the question, but just to go through the whole thing. I mean, MLK's a busy guy over there. Doing whatever he's doing while in the spirit realm. So,
well, he's still alive. But anyway, so I will keep that in mind when I get out of the bath next. If I see a ghostly spirit pop up and say, "Hey, getting married?" or
"Oh no, I'm about to be wed to a spirit."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm about to marry Lenny Bruce or something. Some old dead guy.
Actually, that'd actually be pretty fun.
Yeah,
he was kind of racist, so that was cool.
That would I need him to amp it up a little bit more for me to be super attracted to him. But it's always like, in terms of dead people that you're going to be engaged to, really like Michael Jackson, not just like a random dead person. It's going to be Jacko.
She was a fan in life, so why would he not use her body to channel himself back so that he could marry her? I mean, it makes sense, right?
Well, she is Marilyn Monroe.
That's right. Somebody who is famously not known to be in Michael Jackson's It would have been better if she would have said Liz Taylor. She should have done her research a little bit, you dumb cow. Fucking slut. Oh, well. Next time.
Yep. Found this post over on our Otherkin. Hello. I don't know much about this community, but I think I'm either a ghostkin or a dollkin. Or a ghostkin who just likes dolls a lot, or a ghost dollkin? Sometimes I feel like a phantom tail, though. Anyways, ask me anything. User Learning Sunflower asked, would you say you're a kind ghost or a malicious one? How do the stereotypes of ghosts reflect your personal experience? Would you say they're accurate or way off? And the OP responded, I'm somewhere in between kind and angry. I think I'd be more akin to a Victorian child that was killed by murder because of family problems and has been just sort of lingering, waiting for someone to come along so I can play with them. I'm not really malicious most of the time unless I'm extremely angry or by accident without realizing what I've done, but it's mainly at its worst when I'm feeling extremely hostile or violently angry. The general stereotypes aren't bad necessarily, but I think they need more substance to them besides, grr, angry ghost hurt random innocent people. Not all of us hurt people, and if we do, it's probably justified.
Ah, sure. That's right. No, officer, you see, she deserved it. Also, I'm a ghost. So.
Yeah. And it's only, when I'm angry, it's only when I'm extremely hostile and violently angry. So
if you got to be angry, there's no better way than to be extremely hostile. Hey, folks, blow everything out of proportion.
Yeah.
Why not?
Go ahead
you only
and be
live once.
Violently angry.
Who
gives
live
a
once.
hoot?
You know what? When the waiter brings you out the wrong meal that you didn't order, just chuck it right across the restaurant. Why not? Because after all, you are a ghost. And
make the most goddamn of scenes possible.
Just using the excuse. Oh, sorry, I'm a ghostkin. Like, what the fuck?
Oh, I forgot to explain. I'm a ghostkin. So,
if you
understand.
If you look at, I have a ghost pin here on my on my backpack. One of the thousands of them that's just covering the entire thing. And let me try to find it for you so I can help explain.